Burn them bow down, Michael Dillon heat drum. But the bow wow. Get on down here, brother. Get on down here.
Nah, dog.
Oh man, are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Welcome back to another episode of Mike and Dylan Hate Drama, where we give people life advice and help them navigate the, I don't know, complexity of the reality that we live in, which is complex.
The simulation we live in.
Do you think it's a simulation like a Matrix?
Could be.
Neil deGrasse Tyson broke it down one time, but anytime he breaks things down, it's like he doesn't answer the question. It's like, answer the fucking question. He's like, well, instead of answering this question, I'm gonna say all this smart shit that you're not gonna understand. Maybe somewhere in there he has answered a question, somebody's question. I think he talks so much though, he's like me. Well, if we had Neil deGrasse Tyson on here, I don't think anything would happen.
I think it'd be a competition of who could cut the other one off more.
The most, yeah.
Just be like, oh, I got a really good story that I'm gonna tell on this. And
well, and then I tell the story and he was like, well, I bet the star pattern at that night was, we just fucking, it just go on and on and on. I like to think that, I don't know, maybe I'm some intergalactic being floating around in space and I just made all this up. Or I don't know why I would make up a reality where I'm poor, but it's made up. Hey guys, if you want us to not be poor, check out LaborLama.com, where we sell hardworking clothes for hardworking folks.
Clothes work hard? You said hardworking clothes for hardworking folks?
That's yes, hardworking clothes. That means they're good and durable and quality. Don't ruin my ad that I'm spitting to the people.
All I wanted to tell them was that they can get 30% off if they're wanting the clothes. They can just use.
But I gotta tell them why to buy it.
MADHD.
I gotta tell them why.
Because it looks fucking good.
That code is MADHD 30. It does look good. It is very high quality stuff. Check it out. So the two guys you like
can't
watching.
Get this one though. This one's a custom.
That is a custom. That is a
fuck up.
And it's red. It's dope though. God, it does look good though. Maybe we should do a
red version.
Maybe we should do a red version. Maybe we'll have some of those.
I like the back too.
Have
you seen the back?
No. Whoa! Where'd you get the custom? I'm co-owner of the company. I don't even know how he got that.
I made it.
Oh, he made it. But yeah, so we're going to talk about a little bit of the hubbub, what's going on in the world right now. So did you see, or do you even know of the Rajah Jackson story?
I thought it was fake initially, and then I had to watch that video 5 times to be like, no, he knocked that fucker out and then beat the shit out of him.
What's funny is I thought it was a work. In wrestling terms, a work is it's not real.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So when he slams him, when I see the punches, they're going through the beard, and I'm like, he's fucking good at that. And then I watched it again, and I was like, those are connecting.
No, his head's just fucking
straight to jail. And a lot of people have came out in support of Raj. Here's the thing too, and we're playing along in it. Anytime something like this happens, the person who was in the wrong, we make them famous. Yeah. So he will get.
He can still go to jail. That can still be a possibility.
Right. I don't know how much Rampage, his father. I was a big fan of Rampage growing up. Yeah. Not initially because he beat my favorite fighter, who was Chuck Liddell, who was everybody's favorite fighter during that time. But after some, seeing him fuck around with Errol Hawani and just different reporters and stuff like that, you start to like them. I think Rampage just needs to give him a good old fashioned spanking if LAPD is not going to arrest him, because as of this time when we're recording, it's the 28th.
Yeah,
and he has not been arrested still. So
it's so wild that you can you do that outside of a bar, you're fucking in jail tonight.
I want to get the facts though, because people will be like, because they came out in support and they were like, well, he crushed that can on his head hours before.
And then
literal hours before he thought
Psycho,
what is his name? Psycho Stu? Yeah. Right. Psycho Stu thinks he's there for the wrestling thing. He's at a wrestling event. He thinks he's there. He's streaming.
With cameras around.
Right. He thinks this is part of the thing. So he crushes the can on his head. Obviously, he's not part of the fun. The dude apologizes, and still hours later, after everything's done, almost beats the life out of the guy. And people are like, well, the guy said, get your revenge. He didn't say beat him to death. And also he thought you were part of the fucking show. And you have to have the wherewithal as a human fucking being, not as a goddamn animal locked in a cage. You can't have the fucking brain capacity of a goddamn squirrel. This is what I cannot fucking stand is streamer culture. We're going to get into that in a second. Then we'll get into some fucking advice. But to not be able to understand that, oh, he thought I was part of the show, and then get your revenge. Like, if you did that little slam, guy's a wrestler, he could take that. The follow-up punches is what he's not expecting.
Well, and then fake, like, because it's fucking wrestling, and I'm sorry, but it's all, like, yes, people still get hurt.
To this dumb motherfucker, to this dumbass, I'm pretty sure he's just like, wrestling real. They're in there slamming each other. Oh my God, look at the, oh man, could you imagine getting a fight and getting a last ride? His dad's an MMA fighter, and I still can't tell you if he thinks wrestling's real or not.
Well, and then for like the ref was like, stop, and then didn't fucking do anything to like tackle him off of him or anything.
Pussies,
and then,
man. Look, if somebody starts beating up my friend like that, I don't give a fuck if their dad's a mixed martial artist, if their dad's Bruce Lee in the NSA, CIA, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If you are out in public and you are getting jumped by 6 guys, we are getting jumped by 6 guys together. I'm not one of those guys, I'll make a funny joke that's like, wow, why both of us gotta get beat up? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a funny joke. If I see my friend getting beat up, I'm jumping in, because the chances of both of us getting the life beat out of us is a lot less than my friend just getting
as more people join the cause.
And as more people join, that inspires others to join in. And then the next thing you know, you remember the video of the boat dock incident?
The boat dock? No, I don't think so.
Where it was like a bunch of white people and they started like beating up on this black dude, and then all of a sudden all these black people, there was a black guy that swam up. Like, if a black guy's swimming up to fight, he's about to put in some goddamn work. But they just all like gather around and start helping out. And one lady got hit with a chair. It's a great video if you want to watch it.
Yeah, no, we'll have to watch it afterwards.
You'll have to watch it one day. It was the big news last year.
See, if we had a Jamie, we could just watch it.
We just pop it up and be like, here it is. And then, yeah, that's also good too, because anytime where you just say some dumb shit that never happened, they could be like, well, that didn't happen.
We'll need to get AI as a Jamie.
But this is what streamer culture has done to people. Like, it gives the people that have no fucking talent, like guys, like, here's the thing.
So he was just walking around live streaming the whole fucking time?
Yes. Rampage started live streaming a lot, podcasting a lot.
Who has nothing better to do than just watch a guy walk around an event? And
I guess the people watching, though, they got a show. And here's the funny thing too, because, there's going to be, if this clip goes out or anything like that, and people who watch streams, a lot of people who watch streams like to call people cucks and shit like that. And I'm like, there's nothing more cucky than fucking sitting there and just donating. Like, oh man, this guy's entertaining me. Let me fucking donate some money to him.
Well, and it's different if like there's like an act, like I guess if you just want to act like you're hanging out with
talented
them,
people,
like,
some people who like play video games are very entertaining, IRL stuff. But also people like to see just fucking scum go out there and do scummy fucking things.
Well, I saw this one, I somehow fell down the rabbit hole of like CoffeeZilla, and there's a couple other ones that do like these investigative anarchist something or other, and somehow I got on this one where it was showing this guy who live streamed a bunch of shit, and he went to like Japan, got kicked out of Japan, then went to South Korea.
Oh, that's Vitali, and went to prison.
Yeah, well, he's still like fighting through his like charges and stuff.
I think he got sentenced to 10 years.
I don't know. This one was just a couple days ago, and he was talking about
this might be a different one.
He's still got like 2 more charges that he's got to get through, but he pleaded guilty to like 6 of them. But it was one of those things where he's just going around and being an absolute shit, like not even in a fun way and like playful prankster. This like guy? Just no, it was a different guy. Wow. But yeah, you're just like going out there and being a fucking horrible human being for, likes and shares and donations and all that stuff. And it's just like, you're still a shit person. Like you do realize that, right? Like you're not just being entertaining. You're just being a fucking terrible person.
I wonder who reads like headlines where it's like, streamer, YouTuber, prankster YouTuber gets shot, fucking with people, and just doesn't immediately just think, good. Nice. Yes. Happy endings do happen. Wow. There's a little bit of justice in this world. Look.
Well, the first couple are
we need
funny.
A Batman. Look, just imagine one of them fucking jack-offs doing their fucking IRL live stream, just, committing crimes or just being fucking Neanderthals. And then Batman just shows up and beats the fuck out of them. You just be like, man, I would have notifications on like every channel, be like, when the fuck's Batman going to show up? All right, so we're going to get to the first bit of advice. The title is In Response Magic Joke. Hey guys, it's me, the girl to squirrel guy. I wanted to throw my hat in to be included in sketches in October. And the October film event in Greensboro. I think it's in Charlotte, right?
Yeah, it'll be in Charlotte. Or we'll be filming here, but the actual 48-hour film festival is Charlotte.
Yeah, we'll be filming in Lexington. I live 20 minutes outside of Hickory. I've always loved telling stories and making people laugh. When I was a kid, I got my dad's expensive video camera, an old dinosaur diorama. Ooh, he's going to shove it up his butt. And paper cutout characters. I drew myself and filmed, wrote, directed, and voiced my own Pokemon knockoff. I was a Pokemon fanatic, LOL. I name my not Pokemon Bashermon. That sounds like a Digimon name. You don't know anything about that.
I mean, I know of Digimon. But
yeah. That's the one where it's like a dinosaur and then it turns into a fucking enclosed trailer with fucking cannons for arms. The characters used cubes instead of balls to capture the monsters. I think Pokemon's still going to have a problem with that. It was like, I can see, look, you can see how they used our thing to get to that. The main reason I haven't really pursued anything in the field is because of the people, the Harvey Weinsteins and whatnot. They do like to make people suck dick. I will agree with that. Actually,
we promise that nobody will have to do that for this 48-hour film
maybe.
No, a paid gig, maybe. But when we're talking about everybody
this one is free. Yeah.
We can't really be like, show up.
Consensual reach arounds. Now that's different. that's just for morale. There you go. God, some of these words elude me, man. And I just looked at you for help. And I was like, please, brother, help me out. Just give me a little bit of help.
I got you covered.
Actually, it's mainly because the people I would act with were two-faced drama queens and were very toxic. Trust me, that's
most people.
Yeah, I was around a lot of theater kids who were going to go places. And the last time I seen one of them, one was homeless and the other one was sniffing cocaine off of a guy's shoe.
So one thing that I do have to say about this 48-hour film event that we're going to be doing, it's going to be October 3rd through the 5th. If people want to join in, that'd be great.
We'll start a post on Reddit to see.
I think it's really going to be full on sausage party, just because I think most of the people that we have in our circle for this are dudes, and then most of the people that have expressed interest are dudes. I don't know how we'll make a full movie just full of dudes.
There don't have to be girls there. What are you talking about? Unless it's all right, girls' night out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Romantic.
If it's romantic, it's gay. I'm playing a gay guy then because, we only have a bunch of guys. You don't seem that way to be. Mike might ingest toxic material and produce toxins from his body, but I've been to too many LGSs, local game stores, and comic book stores. I listen to you guys every day and would love to be a part of what you guys are doing. At the end of the day, I'm just a warehouse daddy messaging two other former warehouse daddies, asking them to choose me. Well, brother, you're chosen. Listen, here's the thing. Is also, if you want to partake in this, I'm not going to say, hey, you're going to be a part of the film that we do. We always need help outside of, crew stuff, carrying stuff, setting stuff up. We do need help with that. And then me and Dylan value wanting to do it more than talent, because we've had talent here before and that talent sat on their phone and fucking acted like, hey, all right, when are we doing stuff? We have a script here. Yeah, we have a script here. So how about we read the script and
it's
we can go
over it over talent, really.
Absolutely. So I think we will start are you interested on the Reddit? It's MADHD. If you ain't got a Reddit and you want to be a part of it, fucking create a Reddit.
Or send us a fucking...
No, we're going to do it on the Reddit because if you don't have a Reddit and you make a Reddit to comment on this, that shows that you are taking that initiative.
The attitude.
Yeah. So it's part of the attitude. And I think we'll do the release date around the September 15th episode of this one, where we're going to meet up initially.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think we have to meet up after me and you get the prompt.
What are you talking about?
After we get the prompt from Charlotte. Because we got to go to Charlotte, we get the prompt, and then we got to come back to Lexington and start working.
Yeah. And I think really the bulk of me and you can probably start writing and planning that night. I think that will be a night that we go to sleep, wake up in the morning.
And then shoot Saturday morning.
Yeah. So we would set up everybody being here in Lexington, meeting up at a undisclosed location Saturday morning. And then that's when we really shoot, dump cards to whoever's editing, try to get all that stuff done. And then, if we have pickup shots Sunday morning, we'll be that. And then finishing
now,
up.
Now, if you do have talent, that is a plus. If you're just look, I'm a bomb ass editor.
Oh yeah, no.
Which I think we have. I have to talk to her.
Well, we could have multiple editors.
I hope you're okay with transgender people, because we're going to have a transgender edit in this movie because they are fire.
Yeah.
They are fire. This ain't no DEI bullshit.
If we could get somebody who does color grading too, like that would be something. Color grading. And then I was wondering about music. I was going to reach out to my buddy and see if he...
Also, that brings up a good point too. Like if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, you know, I'm good at color grading, but I live in X place. That is something that doesn't require you to be here. If you want to, you know, like I said, we'll start a thread. I don't know how to do that. I'll figure it out. But we'll start a thread on Reddit for because it's October 3rd to October 5th.
We'll get the prompt by like 8 p.m. Friday, and then we've got to have it in by 8 p.m. Sunday.
That's crazy. We're gonna kill it and win.
I mean, that's basically what we did with the Adventures of Clever Sykes. Like we recorded it, and then by the next day it was out.
I mean, we're dope.
And that was 15-minute episodes. So
because imagine it's color graded and it goes to Sarah, because that's Sarah's strong suit is not color grading.
Sarah will edit, and then Sarah will dump it off, and then
Sarah just has that intuitiveness. I still gotta. I haven't brought it up to her yet, and knowing me, I won't bring it up until like October 1st. Like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Because
I forgot to tell you. Yeah,
very intuitive on the editing.
I mean, that is how you operate. You're always like last. I
got so much shit on my plate, man. It's a lot to think about.
But see, the crazy thing is though, is getting it off your plate by just mentioning it actually relieves your stress.
It does, but I like to keep the stress all bottled up.
Living on the edge.
All right, so the next one says cokehead coworkers. Look, if they're working, can't be lazy on the coke. Hello, Dyke and Dildo. I'm Dyke your Dildo. I'm 27 and recently required an internship at a company and have been working there for about 4 months now. My manager has guaranteed me a job, but to me, nothing is guaranteed until you have it. This plays a part in my indecision on what to do with the story I'm about to tell. Recently, I've discovered my coworker does cocaine, which doesn't bother me. They're a grown man and can make decisions for themselves, but my job includes going out to job sites in work vehicles and towing heavy machinery behind the truck, which I am not qualified to do yet since I'm technically not hired. One day, me and this coworker, I'll call him Thomas. One day, Thomas and I get to go to a work site and swap out some of the equipment. On the way there, he told me he needed to go to a certain gas station. We ended up parked behind a Long John Silver's and not the gas station because he told me this. I knew at this point he was meeting up to buy cocaine, which wouldn't have bothered me if it didn't take an hour because by that time he was ready to go where we're supposed to be at the job site by then. Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck what you do. Don't ever put me in a situation where your thing gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
Because then we got a problem.
Yeah.
Look, you guys know the story of me not snitching on my brother. Today, Mike, I'm telling everything. I'm like, I'm going to give him your whole fucking backstory. I'm like, Thomas Sinclair was a troubled youth, some would say. Like, I'm going all the way back and telling your life story.
It's no longer, like, back when you did it for your brother, it was just you. You didn't have a family. You didn't have, like, if somebody costs you your job or fucks that shit up, like, that's costing your family your living. That's costing your family, pain and strife. So no, it's not just, so like now you're defending your family from this. Like it's no longer just you. Cause like if you were still a single guy, you might choose to go ahead and rat somebody out or like, which that's a terrible term because like you fucked up. Like I'm just saying like, this is why I was involved in the fucked up situation. But like, once it involves fucking up your family and everything, like, no, you're just protecting your family. You're not snitching. You're not doing it. Like, no, you fucked up and you're trying to drag me into it. Like, no.
I already had plans after work and was ready to go. We're supposed to be at the job site by then. I already had plans after work, and now this guy Thomas just messed up those plans with his addiction. Fast forward, we're heading back from the job site, and Thomas is starting to come down off the high and tells me he needs to drive, or he needs me to drive. I tell him I don't think I'm legally allowed to drive yet since I'm not a part of the company officially. He tells me if anything happens, he'll take the blame. At this point, Thomas is falling asleep at the wheel.
Just do some more coke.
That's not. I was about to say that's not coke he's doing. If it's wearing off that quickly, God bless America.
Isn't it only like 30 minutes?
He's deep into it. I guess when you start, like you can literally off of like a key bump get a pretty good high for like an hour. But yeah, once you like start getting into the thick of it, it does start wearing off a lot quicker.
Yeah, like it's shorter and shorter as it goes on.
Right, and it doesn't like the longevity doesn't stack. It's not like one of those drugs, not like acid or anything like that. But you can get higher by the more you do. So this guy probably bought like a fucking gram and just faced it all right before he fucking went to the job site. And now he's just like, oh God.
Crushing.
Right. Yeah. This guy's, he must be deep into because if I bought a gram, look, even at like my peak, however long it took to go pick up this truck and on the way back, I still have, like, I'm still going down, just, fucking going down the road. I figured it'd be safer for me to drive than wait for Thomas to fall asleep and crash into another barricade, which I was also in the truck for that one, but was unaware of his habits at this point in time, so I covered his ass. I've never driven a truck this big, let alone while towing heavy machinery. I was able to get back to the shop safely and go home, but it just doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to tell the manager because I like to give people chances, and Thomas has kids that rely on him. At the same time, I can't have him putting my life in danger. I'd love to hear from you guys. So here's the thing. He is putting you in a predicament where you can get in trouble, where you can lose your job. And if that happens to you, he's not going to give a fuck. He is deep in addiction. The best thing for those kids and his wife is him to have a fucking wake up call and decide if he is going to quit these drugs or not. So I do suggest saying something, not to your manager, to HR, and what you say in HR needs to be written in an email. You do not tell anybody anything. You get HR's email, you send them an email of everything that you saw, so it's written down. So if anything happens and they fire you because of retaliation and, snitching on the cokehead, who was probably very charismatic, the cokehead coworker who the manager probably knows what he does and likes anyways, if they fire you for retaliation, then you don't need a job because you're going to get a lot of money. Anytime you have something like this at work, it's at the point where it's putting your health in danger and it's putting your job in danger. And then also there's this weird thing of if you don't tell and then he finds out and then he says something about it, you could be wrapped up in it too. So it's good to just go ahead and get it out there. Be a fucking adult. I know some people are going to hear this and they're gonna be like, Mike, oh, that seems like a wiener thing to do. You got to think about yourself, because at the end of the day, if he gets in trouble, he's not going to think about you.
Nobody owes you anything, and you don't owe anybody else anything. Like, you are simply going to the same place to make a living. Like that, he's not your friend. He's not your family. Like, you owe that guy nothing at all. I had a question though, because you said you have done coke back in your past and everything, and all the people that I know that did coke always had like a really long pinky fingernail.
I'm not gonna grow my nails out. That's why I say key bumps.
Yeah, because I was like, Mike, did you not just chew that pinky fingernail?
It's much easier to also not have the nasty ass yellow nail that people just like, and to just do it off a key. And people are like, oh, that's like when it's not as nasty as.
It's so strange though, because like people will walk around with just that one fucking long fingernail. And it's like, really?
What's so funny too is like, how people like roll up dollar bills and shit.
Yeah.
We had enough information by that time where we just, you go to McDonald's, get a straw, fucking cut it into 3 pieces, and then you just keep them in the glove compartment. Because if a cop sees it, you're like, what is that? Well, he knows what it is, but there's no drug residue on it, buddy. So you can't it's just my cut up straw. I made cut up straw men at home. I had some pieces left over. I took them with me. You never know when you might need a cut up straw. I could be trapped in the wild, have a cut up straw. Honestly, too, I feel like that is maybe a thing back in the day that they did, because you didn't run into that at all. People just fucking pinky in it and getting it up. That is one good thing about, doing it with a key and a fucking your pinky, though, is you can get it up there and just get that bitch. Because
delivered deep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes people be like, you do any coke, Mike? And I'm like, no, why? And my whole fucking nose is white and fucking got little coke boogers in there.
Booger sugar.
Yeah, just fucking plop that in your mouth and get it all numb, and you're good to go, baby. You're good to go.
I think that's the first time I ever tried coke, because like I said,
when you ate a booger, you ate somebody's coke booger?
No, they didn't have a bunch, and they're just like, put it on your finger and then rub it on your gums.
That's the stupidest way to do it, though.
And like, it kind of numbed it a little bit, but like, it was like nothing. But yeah, they were like, oh, we're all gonna do coke, and I was like,
got some doo-doo. That shit was like 70-75% baby laxative that you put in there.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt any of the coke that I've tried was good coke.
It's the funniest shit, bro. The funniest shit is when you see people dealing this stuff, and people would they'd fucking snort a goddamn rail, boy, like a fucking, and then they'd be like, oh, I gotta go take a shit. And they'd be like, that's how you know it's good. And that's what drug dealers were like telling these young guys.
Wait, would the laxative do it through like snorting?
Yeah.
Really?
Baby laxative? Yeah. So here's the thing. Coke does not look like sugar. People will be like, well, why don't you cut it with like all this granulated stuff?
No, it's powder. It's like flour.
It's like a clumpy powder, and that the baby laxatives that they would get simulated that a lot more than fucking, and it's almost like 1-to-1 the same color that they would get. I've been told I've seen pure before. I don't think it was pure, but if someone was like, this is, you don't know really if it's pure, if it's not until you're.
The fact that it'd come all the way to North Carolina and not be cut yet is just, that's crazy.
Right, because it's coming from Florida.
Well, and especially if it wasn't from like, you know, Charlotte, like directly from like the big hub city that it would come from. Like by the time it makes it to like Lexington or High Point, you're never getting pure by the time it gets to like a small, like mid-grade.
Now I've seen somebody get like kilos that were packed, and I still at that point don't think it's pure.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And I've seen them just like crumbling it off, and you like, that's also sitting there like looking at that and like, you know, having a little bit of drool come out of my mouth. I'm like, wow, I should probably stop doing this. See, I didn't get to like Theo Von where he's doing it alone. If you're doing it alone, I think you're thicking the sauce too. And I do think because Robin Williams will tell you that shit fucking, I would, you know me, I tell you like my problems with like serotonin and shit like that. It could come from depression. It could come from, you know, doing coke, because I definitely did not do as much coke as like Robin Williams, John Belushi, none of them guys.
Oh no, they were hard.
In it. They were fucking mixing it with heroin, all sorts of shit.
Well, and they were also in the heyday of it and celebrities. So like it was just there. It wasn't like a party thing for a weekend or anything. It was like every day, day in, day out.
The funniest thing is when you see like people snorting meth and heroin and stuff like that. You can do it. Yeah.
Well, I did hear that you could like snort heroin if it's like pure heroin.
I don't know what they fucking do to heroin, buddy. I've seen it maybe twice in my life, like as it went into somebody's arm.
I don't think I've ever seen it actually.
I know it's a darker color.
Yeah.
That's it. And I would never, ever be able to, because some people have been like, it was heroin when they said it was coke. And I'm like, that seems impossible to me. Because how the fuck are you bleaching that shit? But I've seen it on like the little. It looks like you would put like a quarter in it to fucking. They're weird looking fucking baggies that they put that shit in, and I've seen it before. Like I've not held it in my hand. I'm not looked at it. That is one of the ones where I've seen people do it, and I'm like, that's not my cup of tea.
Well, I think you've got different kinds of heroin, because like I mean that's the whole premise of Pulp Fiction, or not the whole premise, but that's like one of the things is it looked so much like coke that like it
maybe they have a brighter stuff, but I guess the time when I was
like
coming
black tar
around,
heroin, and then there's like powdered heroin, like there's,
because literally when I was coming up, it was the darker colored heroin, and then it went into that Diablo shit that was mixed with the fentanyl, which I guess is lighter too because you're mixing it with fentanyl.
I think the whole time there's been multiple, like there's different grades of heroin. And
yeah, I'm not been in the big enough in the hair. Look, if you were a heroin addict and you're like, Mike, you're botching it, I'm sorry. I did not spend a lot of time with the heroin people doing the heroines and stuff like that. So
the closest I ever came to it was back early 2000s, early 2000s, because it was while I was in high school. Was we'd get
from what I saw,
we'd get opium.
Right, yeah. From what I saw, the heroin that I've seen, I could not confuse that with cocaine.
No,
nor meth.
But I think there are different like grades and different levels, and like there is powdery white heroin.
I think meth, crack, and heroin just is like too intense of a high for you to be able to like socially really do anything. If somebody was doing heroin, they were doing it with their heroin friends. You know, I could do coke and go to a party and be okay. I just sit there and talk to you about if this is a simulation or not.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Really getting in there and be like, you know, fucking Hitler was a terrible guy. And some of my friends be like, well, you know, and I'd still be there in my like, you know, coke fueled rant and be like, no, I still think I think he was a terrible guy. I think you're getting too deep into the sauce, guys. Like I love a good conspiracy, because they were like, you know, you're taught that all these good people were bad and all these bad people were good. It was like, what about Hitler? And I was like, no, I think if enough people come together, not just America, I think if everybody's agreed on it, then I think that he's a douchebag. So, because a lot that they would do is like they would focus on the time it took to burn all the bodies. And they start talking about the manpower, and I feel like your numbers are off. I feel like we don't have enough data here. I'm not going to really put a lot of.
Well, weren't there just tons of mass graves too? Like
tons of mass graves, and look, man, when you're fucking incinerating, if you're gassing people a bunch at a time, it's not like, I understand in your mind, you can't think of a casualty event of that proportion and the manpower it takes to handle that. But when you're taking people to a humongous crater that you've dug in the ground and just shooting them as they fall in the fucking...
Well, and a lot of it was scientific experiments that they were doing on them, like just to figure out
like Mangala and shit like that.
How far they could take, like starvation, and like how much like the gas chambers and stuff were ways to try and figure out how to kill people.
Joseph Mangala and Bayer, the fucking...
drug company.
Yeah, they were the ones that were fucking doing terrible things to the women to see how far the headache medicine, their different medicines, can fucking go on them. Mangala had like a really big obsession with twins and shit like that. Like, if he'd lock them in separate rooms and shit, and starve them, and then give them different foods and see if they picked the same one first. And he would fucking brand one to see if the other one felt it and shit, like this crazy fucking horrible shit. And then people read that and they're just like, I don't see how. I know they're evil, but how could they kill 6 million people? They can. You can. Like, if a guy in 30 minutes can walk into a fucking, it was way long. It was 64 minutes. That's the name of the documentary. He walks to a fucking McDonald's and he kills 35 people, something like that. Like, you can kill a lot of people quickly, and you can burn bodies, fucking mass graves and shit like that. So anytime anybody comes up to me with the Holocaust didn't happen. Wow.
Well, the thing is too, like, how... I don't know. You have to be like so deep in the sauce of like conspiracy to like even begin
I love a conspiracy. Yeah. That guy was if you have video proof of that guy just being a cock, like, and talking about, eradicating a group of people, which, shout out to the Jewish people, because they fucking, there's been, every time I see a country unite, it's over the hatred of Jews. I don't know. Look, I'm not deep into the sauce, but Germany, and then, bro, America got real close. The far left and far right almost fucking kissed on the hatred of Jews. So.
It's not the hatred of Jews, though. It's Israel and like what they fucking...
We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that.
I know, but you just fucking brought it up, dude.
I know, but it was a joke. It's a joke.
And you said it a million times. And the thing is, though, is Jews are not Israel. Israel is not Jews. Like,
but that's how they're painting the picture. That's how the picture is. If the picture is painted that way,
that's the propaganda that they want to like.
Perception is reality. So their reality is that it's Jews. That's it.
That's the propaganda that people want to talk about.
It's Jews. So perception is their reality. We're not going to get into that.
You can dislike Putin and then also still like Russians. Like, it's okay to like separate those two things, because Israel is not the whole Jewish people. Like,
that's what's so funny too, is just like the Israel and the people of Israel. It's the fucking government and the rich people. It's not the fucking people doing their day-to-day bullshit. They're not like, you know what? I'm gonna go bomb a hospital.
That's everything around the whole entire world.
That's not how it works.
Governments. Because like North Koreans, I guarantee most North Koreans, pretty cool fucking people, just trying to feed their families.
Just the dick at the top is just like, you get no food because I get all of it. I assume he talks like some fucking little weird fat anime character. I'd love to fight him. Like, I'd love to box. Because come on, guy, like, you're this dick. Like, you have all these dick tendencies, but you're a fat fuck. Like, if you put any work into yourself, if I get a villain, I want that villain to be in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, smart, charismatic, not some fat fuck that hides behind some security guards. That's like, nobody can leave. I've got all the borders locked up. This is how I imagine.
Well, the crazy thing is, how does one guy,
North Koreans, hear him speak?
That literally anybody could take him out. Like, anybody could just be like,
right. Imagine being that. You're just a guard and just be like, you know what? Pa-pow.
Yes.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Problem solved.
What's so good to, well, I don't know, with fucking the goofy ass shit we have in this nation right now. But what's so funny is like saying something like that and then North Korea being like, no, you extradite him over here. I want to hang him. Now I probably would get sent over there. Mm-hmm. I don't fucking know. It's weird. What a time to be alive. Oh. That's all I want to say. What a time to be alive.
Simulation.
Yeah, it's got to be, brother. This title says, petty dog drama. Hi, Mike and Dylan. Not really an advice question, but I do have some petty drama for you. We like this.
Petty.
On one episode a while back, you guys were talking about people who put up those "don't let your dogs pee here" signs in their yard and how it's frankly silly. Poo, pick up the poo, etc. It's one thing, but God forbid my dog pees on your curb. Well, I have one of those neighbors too, but what really gets me is the neighbor has two decor themes to their yard. Don't let your mangy mutt pee here, and we love our dog. The yard is already full of dog piss. Then what the hell? Does their dog go into a fit every time he smells? He comes out and he's just like, God damn it, somebody's been here. And it's like, fuck, now we got to deal with the dog being an asshole all day because this bitch is letting her fucking dog piss in the yard. Is this some weapon in marital dispute? She claims she never picks up the dog shit. He says it must be the neighbors. That's real funny too. Anyways, thought you'd get a kick out of my petty dog drama. I guess here's the advice I need. Do I owe it to karma to let my dog pee on the neighbor's yard? Love the shows. Waiting for the Netflix release of Finding Bigfoot. I would love to get to that. Finding Dad Bigfoot. As soon as I have financials in order, I'm buying my man some LaborLama. Oh, and this is a girl. Whoa, a girl.
Do you want to be in a 48-hour film festival?
Listen, I am of the, I don't know, I'm just respectful, dude. I understand it's a cock thing to put in your yard and his dog's peeing in the yard, but if somebody has that sign up, I'm just going to be respectful and go to the next yard.
See, I just, like, I'm not going to tell my dog no. If they decide to walk up and then pee in that yard, I'm not going to be like, oh no, you got to, like, I'm not going to terrorize my dog. It's fucking grass. If my dog's
doesn't do anything to grass, does it kill grass?
It does, but not to like any substantial point. Like, I mean, the crazy thing is,
but also you gotta have it's a culmination of how many people are walking their dogs, how many dogs are pissing in your yard.
And the first like 3, like if you let your dog run into somebody's yard and piss by their doorstep, sure. But like if you're 3 feet from the road,
I'm not gonna damn you for it, but I'm just saying it's something I would not do.
If your dog started peeing while you were walking it in that person's yard, you would tell the dog to stop?
See, what's the good thing is too, and here's the funny thing about fire hydrants, is you think our dogs love anytime we just go out, it's right at the top of the corner of the yard.
Yeah.
And that's the first place they go.
I've never seen a dog pee on a fire hydrant before.
They love it. They love it. But we also have, I don't know, like wild cats and shit in the fucking neighborhood. That are ours now because we were just like, oh yeah, you can come into our house, fucking feral thing. But
well, see, that's one thing though, and like I think I brought it up in another podcast, but like lawns are stupid. They're just dumb. Like we just spend so much time, money, and effort to have these beautifully manicured little fucking.
And then people are like, where did the fireflies go? Well, they don't have nothing to live off of now. Everybody's lawn
you
so
poison
fucking...
the fuck out of it, and then you fertilize the fuck out of it, and then you keep it all cut down low. Like a guy made a reel about it. He was talking about how like initially like he used to do landscaping and all this stuff, and then COVID caused him to like go overseas in the middle of like the chaos of it. And he's like, where I was at, like there were just fruit trees and there was food and like all this stuff. Like people grew stuff rather than just grass. Like grass does not feed anybody. It doesn't like help anybody. The only thing you can do is like fucking throw a ball and catch a ball. But for the most part, it just sits around unutilized, and you spend so much time, money, and effort. And like the crazy thing is they're like, people spend an average of 16 days of their life doing lawn care, and I think it averaged out to being 7.8 hours a year. I was like, that's fucking crazy, because like no, I've already spent 16 days of my life doing fucking lawn care from the time I was like 12 until I was 17 or whatever, you know. Like I mean, there's been so much time invested in taking care of lawns. And like the whole thing is though, like with the dog thing is like, it's fucking grass, dude. Get the fuck over it.
I guess I agree. When you lay out the point like that, I do agree with it. Because I'm of the opinion that that's just the goofiest thing to care about. Like if you're like, well, it looks nice. It only looks nice because you've been told that's what looks nice. Yes. I remember, stepping out in my backyard when I was a kid in the evening time and seeing 1,000 fucking fireflies.
Thousands and thousands.
You want to talk about beautiful? Like I've never seen somebody's yard and it take my breath away. When you walk out there, and I mean, people are like, our childhood was so magic, and it's not magic because over time we've killed all the magic, man. Like everything that was beautiful and magical about this world through capitalism, all this other stuff, being told, societal norms and shit like that. We have killed that magic. We are the reason nobody is outside fucking out there dancing on the streets and shit like that. We are the reason that, people fucking just think in just a certain linear way of, go to work, get home, shower, eat, sleep, shit, do it all the next day until you die. We have really there was a magic when we were kids because we did not understand those societal norms that they put on people. And I think the more we got beaten to that box, that's where just all the magic, like me shitty shit happens, but I have such, like, I don't know. I really feel like my goofy persona, my jokes and shit like that kind of keeps the magic alive. Like I have a great connection with my kids and I'm still able to be very fatherly. And I think it's because I strive to keep, you know, my childhood and all of that stuff alive. I had a shitty childhood, yes, but like every single day of my life is not getting beat with fucking holy paddles and shit like that.
Well, there were still happy moments.
There were still so many happy moments that I can connect with. I mean, this summer we had a resurgence in fireflies and just going out there and just seeing 10 of them, man.
We have them because most of around my house is woods.
Right.
And so they just come. Like,
well, you've seen mine. I'm surrounded with woods and still they're just, they fly around. They don't live for that long. They can't be confined to that. When every place in the state was habitable for them, that's where you see them fucking thrive. And now we've set it up. We've, you know, lawn care, pesticides, all this shit. It's not habitable for them. Imagine going outside and catching fireflies with your kid. Like that's going to leave infinitely more of an impact on them. That's going to be way more of a memory for them than them playing a random day on a fucking PlayStation.
So the bug that I don't see anymore, and I don't know, I didn't grow up in North Carolina. I grew up in New York. And when I went up there, I saw them again in the numbers. I don't know whether it was as much as when I was a kid, but grasshoppers, like down here, I don't see grasshoppers fucking
especially
anywhere.
Not the green ones anymore.
No fucking grasshoppers.
When we were kids, there was the majority were the green grasshoppers, like green, and you saw a lot of praying mantises too. You don't see those guys anymore. Those are very fucking rare to see now. When I was a kid, like I knew if I went outside, if I looked for a praying mantis, I could find a praying mantis. And now it's fucking impossible. But we just get the little black ones. And then that's crickets. If you go, I guess they're crickets.
Crickets are the small ones, and grasshoppers get bigger.
So the grasshoppers, you don't fucking,
which I mean, still you don't see a shit ton of crickets.
No, we had a bunch of them when I was kids.
Yeah.
Which also, I guess, is a good thing because them bitches are loud at night.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't sleep with no fan, that's all you hear.
We'll see.
But you don't hear it no more. It's silent outside. And that's crazy, man.
My daughter's had me sleep out in a tent at our house like the past 2 or 3 nights. And that is the thing, is like laying out there. It definitely, I still hear things, but it's not the deafening, like when the cicadas came a year or 2 ago, like it was deafening, like how loud they are. And that's what it used to be with crickets and grasshoppers and stuff like that. But like, yeah, it's not near the volume and the.
So I was talking about like, you know, magic, and we've killed all the magic. I do want to elaborate a little bit on what I mean by that. So, you know, the phrase laughter is the best medicine. Mm-hmm. It sounds stupid, but it is really good. Like if you have the flu, and, you know, you see all these commercials where you're in the bed and you're just, when I have the flu, like I still try to do my normal things. You know, if all I could do is get up and play a video game, get up and watch a movie with my kids, that's what I try to do, because that just laying there and soaking in misery does not help at all. When I had COVID, and I talk about this shit hurt, like this, it was rough. That was one of the roughest times I've ever been sick. Just getting up and just fucking doing my normal things. By 1 o'clock during the day, I'd be like, fuck, I don't think I have it anymore. And then I would go to bed. I'd wake up the next day and be like, oh God, but I'd get myself out of bed. And that's what it is, man. Like if you were going through life and you have these magical moments, it takes away from the dreariness that we now live in that has been brought on, really. And I'm sorry, look, you could fucking, capitalism might work, not with the fucking corruption that we have in our government, but through all of this stuff and nickel and dime and everything and all these fucking norms of, you see old people out somewhere at a fucking Mexican restaurant dancing together, and you're like, oh my God, that is so cute. You can fucking do that. You don't have to be old to do that. You can still have that romance, that fucking spark in life.
Just enjoy life.
Everything is dying because we have destroyed what I feel made humans amazing.
I think they're trying to sell it to you, just like they've done with medicine and all this other stuff. They're trying to put it in a pill form, like, so buy your happiness through, you know, these things, like buy happiness, buy clothes, and which we sell clothes. But,
there's a reason why when you talk to your friends, you're like happy and you're talking to them and you're fucking talking their head off. That's a natural high. Like that, there are natural
and
highs
and laughing
and fucking just seeing the wonderful place that is this fucking world. We are just fucking destroying that. And there's going to be a part where, look, I can't tell you if, we're having a big impact on the climate or not. I'm not a fucking scientist. I've listened to both sides. They both have scientists. It's whoever pays for the fucking science. I can't tell you if, climate change, whatever, but I can say what we are doing as people, as us, things that we have control over, with the lawns and how we view things, and being able to break away from people saying, hey, that's not cool. Because I believe too, in doing that and breaking away from the societal norms, then you start to think of, why the fuck do I have to do this every day? Like, why is it incredibly difficult to start your own thing or to do your own thing, or if you're great at something? And there's going to be a point where it's just going to be dead, man. It's going to be that gray. Look, it might not be like in movies where you get that gray filter, but that's what it's going to feel like, man. And that's why they use that gray filter to kind of capture that feeling.
Well, he said one of the, like, I was listening to a podcast with Andrew Huberman, and he had a scientist talking about how kids have, like, the childhood that we grew up with versus the childhood that they're growing up with are totally different. It started really like once TV and air conditioning became a thing, because kids stopped going outside to play with the neighborhood kids. Like, we stopped trusting our neighbors. Like, we all kind of internalized, instead of sitting out on our porch to like beat the heat, sitting in the shade, letting the breeze come by, like we moved inside and turned on the TV, and now it's cell phones and everything like that. But like, we stopped being part of communities, we stopped being like part of nature. And so like by shutting us all in, now we're in our own little bubbles. And so now,
what does a kid have to do outside though? Think about how neighborhoods are set up today. Like, if a kid goes outside in his fucking, gated community, or, not even a gated community, this standard fucking neighborhood now, where it's just like cookie cutter house, little tiny lawn, cookie cutter house, little tiny lawn, cookie cutter house, little tiny lawn.
I mean, there's tons of shit you can do.
Where we went, but we went out, and it is also a thing on, we are more exposed to the bad side of people. That's all that gets talked about.
We make believe that people are worse than they are. Like,
you just see it a lot.
Yeah, but
it's not make believe, it's fed to us.
But the numbers of like how many people are actually impacted by that are substantially small comparative to the actuality of, like, I mean,
when they talk about like, so kidnappings, and you got all these kidnappings and stuff like that.
It's
kidnappings between
member.
A kid that gets kidnapped by a random fucking person happens maybe once, twice a year.
Yeah, it's insane.
It is incredibly low. You are more likely to have your child taken by a relative than someone ever. But also too, now think about my daughter going outside riding her bike, okay? Right up the road, just all fucking city.
Chaos.
Yeah, chaos city and shit like that. That's what a lot of it is now. When we were kids, there were a lot more trails. It was, unless you grew up in a big city, even if you grew up with a little city, you still had places where you could go and you could find these little watering holes and stuff like that. All that's gone now.
You could say it's gone, but also it's like the kids don't go and find those things anymore. Like, technically you do have a bunch of woods around you, and like, if you like, I think it is more boys than girls. Girls will go over to another one's house and they'll do whatever, like, play dress up and fucking do their hair, makeup, all that stuff, or like play games. But like with boys, like, I remember I was probably 6-7 years old, going up a mile away from my house to meet my neighbor, and then we'd meet in the middle at a creek between us.
You start walking your way.
Yeah, but like, we would just find something to do. It wasn't our property. We were trespassing. But like, we would find something to do. And I think kids would still do that to this day, and probably keep themselves out of trouble and get into a little trouble, which isn't a bad thing, to like learn like the boundaries of like how, like,
being a people.
You learned how to like light shit on fire and like dip back to the house to not get in trouble.
And what you could not light on fire. Right?
Yeah, and like, I mean, that was stuff that I learned how to do. And not to say that kids need that, but a lot of that stuff is missing because we've kind of closed in, and it all goes back to, we're being sold like that we can get our happiness through TV, our cell phones, internet. Like, that is where we can find our happiness. Or if we do pull ourselves out of like the box, whether it's TV, phone or whatever, it's go out to eat, it's go shopping, it's only go outside of your house, not to like actually commune with people and like go fishing. I think that was a great thing from when you were trying to quit smoking, was like fishing. Just go outside, fucking put your phone away and just do something that isn't looking at a screen, isn't fucking ingesting media. Just fucking be there. And
I'm not fishing no more, guys. I caught that big bass, and I was like, yeah, well, this is the
end.
Sarah has a bass boat.
Top.
Sarah has a bass boat.
Why aren't you out on the bass boat fishing?
I want to.
Go.
Sarah's like, you don't care what people think. I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck what people think. What the fuck are they going to... It's my friend.
Yeah.
What are they going to... People could be like, Mike and Dylan are fucking.
We aren't.
Right.
So
I'm like, brother, there's no way I could prove that me and Dylan are not having sexual intercourse. It's Schrodinger's gay sex.
They have to prove that we are having sex.
Right. When Sarah first transitioned, people were like, so that's why you and Mike were hanging out. So I was like, no, I was just their friend. But what's so funny is when she did that and people were making, now they're all in her brother. Listen, a lot of guys, look, I got the proof. I got a friend.
What's the most homophobic ones? It's the ones like,
and they open them DMs like,
yeah,
hey, I'm lonely tonight. And listen, if you were watching this podcast and you were one of my haters, okay? Because Dylan will tell you, I have a couple haters up here where I'm from. Start the drama, dog. I'm waiting because I'll be like, will you send me all that stuff? Sarah's like, fuck yeah. I don't like these people. So yeah, please start that drama because Mikey gonna end it. Mikey gonna out you, okay? Yeah. Look, it's not good to out a gay person. But if you are a hateful gay person and you start talking shit.
But you're not even a gay person. You're still closeted homophobic person. Like, because most of the time that's how that shit goes is they're like, I hate gay people.
Nah, if I walked in and, which is so funny too, because some of our like really big, just far right people are just, they're jumping on. They're sliding in the DMs, jumping on the bandwagon. If I walked into someone like on the far right getting fucked by another dude, I'm not gonna be like, this is clot. I'm like gay, and then walk out.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying they're not they actually accept themselves as, and like, you don't have to be gay. You can be bi. You can be a fucking million other versions of this. But like the whole thing is like you are a self-hating person because like you're judging people, you're telling them that they're bad, and then you're sliding in somebody's fucking DMs that has a penis.
And I love telling people too, I have a transgender friend. I call Sarah her.
Yes.
They're like, you're playing in. They're trying to like, fucking turn our children gay. I was like, Sarah's never, ever done that. Sarah's actually never ever been like, hey, can I speak to your kid? That's never been a thing. Sarah's just is just a person. Now, Sarah does be saying some dumb shit. She'll be like, I'm feeling period cramps. I'm like, shut up. All right, let's don't keep that to yourself, okay? If you're having that problem, let's just keep that as a personal thing, belly hurts. But yeah, just a normal fucking person has the normal things that she loves.
The thing is, if they're not hurting anybody, they're not doing anything. Like,
but also, too, she went full transition. If someone like me threw on a wig, I'm like, what's up, bro? Like, I still say, what's up, bro? Brother. Yeah. I call Sarah brother. Brother is...
Gender neutral,
yeah. It's hey, brother. Yeah. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage taught me to just address everybody as brother. But
the whole thing is like, it hurts no one for you to be accepting.
Just be a respectful fucking human being.
Yeah.
I'm not playing into their mental illness. Well, we got to play into your goddamn mental illnesses, okay? So fucking Jesus Christ, you just sat there for 30 fucking minutes telling me everybody's lizard people. You don't think that's the mental illness? You don't think we're probably dealing with something here? But I'm sitting there nodding going, maybe. Wow. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't. People are just so dumb because also every single fucking opinion people have is brought on by something that somebody told them. The same thing that they're like, yeah, media's terrible. And then the media will say something and I'm like, I believe every goddamn word I just heard.
Oh, yeah.
You can't fucking think for yourselves. Like, you can't go outside, talk to people, get off your fucking phone. This is for adults too, man. You have the same problem that kids do. Get outside and go actually interact with people. Yeah. To say, hey, black people aren't like this. Mexicans aren't like this. Transgender people aren't like this. Gay people aren't like this. Lesbians, look, you get two women together, they start stabbing each other. It doesn't matter if they're having sex.
See, you said when we were filming the bonus episode of MADHD, you're like, it's not so bad, with
highest divorce rate among all couples. So highest divorce rate, lesbian women, then it's heterosexual couples, and then the lowest one is gay. It's
Gay
two
men?
guys.
Really?
Yeah. It's two dudes hanging out, and then at the end of the day, they get to fuck each other. Listen, if I was attracted to dicks, I'd sign on for that. Be like, hey guy, you want to fucking play video games?
We're going fishing.
Yeah. Would you like your dick sucked? Oh, indubitably. Like, what is the downside of being gay? I just, unfortunately, and this is why I'm like, look, man, that's how you know it's not a choice. Because they're literally being like, hey, you want to hang out with your bro all day and nut. People would be like, whoa, yeah. It'd be like, but it's your friend doing it.
Have you seen
like,
the guy
that ruins it for me.
Have you seen the guy that rides around in like his work truck or whatever and plays whatever that super gay country is, like where it's like, I'm not gay, but I like it in the ass, like I fuck my boy.
Yeah, he'll play that like the gas stations and
but
stuff.
Like he'll play it, like he'll get somebody in his car that's like a friend of his or something. He'll get him in, and then he's like, oh man, it's my favorite, and it plays that song, and then you can just see the guy over there like, can we turn that off? Like just getting super like awkward.
What if one day he gets a friend in there and like, oh yeah,
no, I love it.
And then you're just more of a dick because you're like, now I gotta fucking,
no, I'm not that.
Now I gotta let you down. Fuck me.
Yeah, I think he's pretty safe though, just because like, you know, the odds of
I don't know. People have strong opinions that are of not their, like they did not come up with that. People have just these unrelenting beliefs that were told to them and told they should believe in it, and none of them just like was sitting there thinking, sitting under a fucking apple tree or anything like that. I was like, you know what?
Gay people are evil.
Right. This is how I think because of all these. No, they're just like, hey, this, and then no elaboration.
Well, and my thing, and I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it 1,000 more, is as soon as you box people into a group instead of actually talking about the people you know, because like I would guarantee you've met gay people and they weren't bad people, they weren't pedophiles, they weren't, you know, like hurting anybody. They're just a fucking person. And that's my thing is, as long as you're not hurting another individual.
I think right now the Minneapolis shooting was done by a trans person.
Okay.
There is evil people in every, it doesn't matter what you identify, what race you are. There's just bad people. And if you say, hey, we don't like bad people, instead of saying we don't like black people because they're all killing, or we don't like Mexicans because they're all fucking cartel members. If you just say, hey, I don't like bad people, your life will be so much better because you're not surrounded by these people that are going to shoot up a school. You're not surrounded by people that, you know, want to fucking kidnap your kid. You're surrounded by normal people.
Well, and that's what creates these people, though, is by singling people out. Because, like, I imagine whoever shoots up a school has an agenda because they don't like somebody else.
They had a manifesto, too.
Yeah, but, like, like, I mean, Hitler did his thing because he didn't like a specific group or, like, basically anybody outside of his specific group.
If someone commits mass atrocities and don't leave a manifesto, I just think they're fucking lazy. Like, why would you go through all of that?
Yeah.
To not at least let us know how the fuck you're. That's when I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Or it could all be a psyop.
Because they all like when they do these, a lot of them, they release like manifestos and shit like that. You didn't get one for the Las Vegas shooting.
Yeah, that one.
Can't talk about that, though, because the black vans will roll up. So we're just going to away from it. How's it one guy and you got 3 different gunfires going off at the same time? I don't know. It's magic. It's the same magic that killed JFK. Good thing we stomped that shit out. The magic is dead now. All right, we're going to get to the next one. Oh, fuck. Why do people watch this podcast? All right, my horrible irrigation company. Hey, Mike and Dylan, my name's Josh, and I work at the most hated company in town. I work as an industrial mechanic, really just a diesel equipment mechanic. I am in charge of the repairs and upkeep of 20 pieces of cat equipment, 14 John Deere, and about 30 other various dirt moving equipment and dump trucks. I'm also the only mechanic. During the winter, we shut down the canals to do maintenance, in which we break down stretches of the canal and rebuild them. We use mostly scrapers like 657s and dozers from D6s up to D11s.
Ah, the old D11s.
Yeah. I can't agree. I don't know what they are, so I'll just, nice. No, fucking nice, bro.
The D11s were my favorite.
Friend said it. He likes them. I like them. Nice. Almost all of our operators are about 19 to 21, except the foreman. So if a lot of the stuff breaks down, if not 2 things daily. Well, I have time and time again asked for them to hire at least one other person to just help with the workload of the day, since I can't be at 3 job sites at once and repair every little thing that comes my way on top of doing services and greasing. Well, I wish you would grease my services, buddy. But while they buy more equipment and hire more operators and seasonal workers, I'm still the only mechanic for the big stuff. My boss doesn't know anything that I do, so I have to go into detail about why I can't do engine mounts on a C15 in one day. God, what a dumbass.
Those fucking C15s.
Right. How do you
always...
You know you can't do the fucking engine mounts on them. God, what a dumbass. Jesus, your foreman is a poor girl. Fucking roasted. He used to do coding for the company and has a degree in liberal arts. I don't know if that's just a roast.
That's probably a roast.
Probably a roast. Okay. I've been offered about 4 jobs since I started this one, all from a much better company who is well funded and have a lot of employees, but I would lose a lot of the federal benefits and flexibility. I currently work about 60, 70 hours a week and want to start a family, but I feel stuck where I am, and there aren't a lot of companies around my area and don't want to go job hopping. 60, 70 hours. You have plenty of time with that part-time fucking job right there. Shouldn't stay for a few more years, or shouldn't stay for a few more. Oh, God bless America. Shouldn't stay for a few more years. Should I stay? It says shouldn't stay. Should I stay for a few more years, or should I just call it quits and cut all the fuel lines and throw away the spare keys and leave? Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that, because then you're legally responsible and nobody's going to want to hire the... It was like, weren't you on the news for cutting all those fucking fuel lines and throwing away the spare keys and shit? Yeah, so I heard the real story of that guy is not fun. Like, it's not like a really cool story.
I don't think anybody terrorizing a town is a good story.
Like, I heard like it was because he did all this government stuff, and once again, look, people are gonna be like, yo, no, I heard this story from a fucking meme or a goddamn person telling me. But I heard the real story is not as cool as everybody makes it out to be. Well, and he's actually just like a fucking petty, weird old guy
that's the whole thing, is like, I don't like the city government here for much of anything. Like, I think that I pay too much taxes for too little services and all that stuff. However, as soon as you get into a fucking vehicle and terrorize the town and then off yourself, like, you took the pussy way out, bruh. Like, so, I mean, at least face the consequences of what you did.
Right.
Like,
so for my advice for this, ABA, always be applying. If you work for a shitty job, always be putting an application somewhere.
He said that he already has offers from other people. Like, what? Better pay, better everything.
Right. How often do you need the benefits? Like, benefits are a thing. Yeah. But brother, if there's somewhere where it's like, you're not going to have to work as much, you're going to make more money.
Well, the crazy thing with, like, just to comment on the company that he works for, like, it doesn't make sense that you probably make more money by hiring somebody else to actually help.
Water tastes a little funky when I took that sip.
Would you?
Tastes like,
did you mess it up?
Tastes like Mikey didn't wash out that. Yeah, it tastes like Mikey didn't wash out that cup today.
Nice.
A little bit of moss in that cup.
Seasoning?
Yeah, a little seasoning. A little bit of minerals.
But like with a company that, and this is the part that boggles my mind, and it's, doesn't make sense for capitalism's sake, is like, you will lose production and lose the ability to make more money because you don't want to pay somebody who makes you money by keeping your machines running. Like, that does not make sense. Like, if a machine is down, technically you're not producing the product of, like, fixing the canal, whatever. Like, just pay somebody to fucking come in and help that guy.
I want to preface something, because we talk a lot of shit about like capitalism and just like accepting people and not being a dick. And a lot of people will be like, Mike and Dylan are liberal. We're not liberal.
Woke.
All right, we're not Democrats. Democrats, the scene in Back to the Future where he starts playing that thing on the guitar and the guy grabs the phone. He's like, listen to this. That was a politician. When he heard like a black guy complain, he was like, I wish somebody cared about me. He was like, listen to this. And then it's a bitch on the line. I was like, oh, we can fake pretend to care about them. Yes. And then fucking we can create more problems that aren't, we can make an enemy out of people who are just trying to fucking exist. They're both douchebags, okay? We don't like either side. Capitalism, like I said, you can be like capitalism, socialism, whatever. Nothing works under the corrupt system that we have.
Fucks everything up.
It does suck. And I just want you to know, Republican, Democrat, we love you. Do we like the people that are just like kind of in the middle more? That was like, hey, we just like to make jokes and have fun. Yeah, we love them a little bit more. But look, you can come inside of the love. Everybody just head towards the center and just start thinking about your own opinions and own ideas instead of... I think
it's the way that it's been broken down is like, it is a team sport. You got to pick one side or the other. But like, there's the guy that breaks down like everything that's sold in a grocery store and tells you whether it's like, privately owned or whether it's a big mega corporation. And every single one he does is like 30% of every fucking company inside of a grocery store is owned by BlackRock, like fucking, I can't remember the other two, but like there's 3 companies that literally own every fucking
I was going to say Procter & Gamble, but I think Procter & Gamble is
owned by one of the mega companies.
And then Procter & Gamble owns all these fucking different companies. Yes. And look,
and that's where
we're not going to get into that because those are the people that kill you.
But no, that's where the system is broken, and that's where people act like there's like choices and there's like options out there. There's no fucking options, and they have just sold you the idea that there is options. Like this whole thing about gay people, fucking Mexicans, anything like that, like the things that we all argue about, whether you're a woke liberal or you're a fucking fascist right winger, like all this stuff, it's literally made up to make us fight with each other instead of just being like, oh yeah, no,
because you can really see the downturn. So I remember we were talking about like the downturn of like media and stuff like that, and how it just became so like divisive, and you didn't get real news anymore, and it literally coincides with like Ted Turner and Rupert Murdoch's fight over, fucking
CNN and
news and Fox shit like that. And then, Murdoch won and fucking pretty much owns all fucking media, substantial media outlets.
And they've been allowed to, like, legitimately, they don't have to tell the truth. They do not have to tell the truth anymore.
Oh, man, you remember that one they showed on Joe Rogan where it's like all the newscasters? And
yes, and there's thousands of them.
And thousands of them saying the same fucking
all the
thing.
Words.
Look, I don't want to die, so I think we're going to wrap this podcast up, bud. All right?
Yeah.
I don't want to get myrtleized. So guys, if you enjoy the podcast, I don't know, thank you. Make sure to check out LaborLama to get really good work gear, hard quality, or fucking hard-working clothes for hard-working folks, which makes sense, Dylan. That's a really good line. It's a really good tagline. You can get that at LaborLama.com, LaborLama.com. Once again, if you want to partake in the 48-hour film challenge, I'll have a post on Reddit. Just, be in there, be a participant in the thread, and then, show up that day. If you show up that day, I know you're really fucking interested. And then
30% off all clothes on LaborLama. MADHD 30 is the code. MADHD 30.
Also, if you want to see us succeed, go to Patreon. Become a reach around supporter, and then you get to see the bonus episodes, which are just kind of me and Dylan being sad, talking about our lives. And guess what, guys? I'll see you next time.
Later.